So today we won't be working on the project. There are some topics which first I need to explain. Uh, so we have seen reusable component, right? Again, to just revise, what's the use of reusable component? Why we have to create the reusable component? Hmm. Anyone? Why we should
No need
create
to
reusable
write
component?
same code again and again.
Reduce the line of code.
Right? First,
Like
reusability,
then
code should not be repeated. Some UI or some functionality is going to be repeated in almost all the component. So instead of writing that again and again, we move that UI and that code into a reusable component, right? So that our code can be at a single place and we can use it multiple times. That's the purpose of reusability. Now consider you have a table, okay? Let's see localhost 4200 control flow. Let's say here you have the table. On the table, you need to implement sorting, searching. You should have the pagination also. Okay. So let's say you don't know any reusable component or something. So you will write your logic. Here you will have a search box, and on a search box change, you will filter the record on the whatever the user has filtered. Again, you can have the pagination here, 1, 2, 3, next, previous. If you want to do the sorting in the label, you will click, it will get sorted, right? So there are so many things. Filter, sorting, pagination. Majorly, we will go with three things. So if you have to implement that, first you will write the code and in your component, you will write it. Okay. Let's say again, you need to do the same thing in different component also. So instead of doing that, then you will create a reusable component also of the table. Okay. But let's say when we talk about reusable table, there are so many scenarios, not just pagination, sorting, searching. There are so many things normally when we work on the project, there are so many things which we need in the table. So we cannot write all that code by ourselves. Okay. So now here, let's say, right, what is this? When I click right click, what do we call this? When I do the right click in browser, what do we call this? This pop-up comes, right? What do we call this? Context menu.
context.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let's say if you right click on this particular TR, so now instead of this, you should get edit, add, delete button. Edit, view and delete button. Got it? So this also it is possible, but we have to write so much of code to achieve that. We have to check the pointer where user has clicked, and then we have to open a div with display position, that relative and height, top, width, and then we can do that. But instead of writing that code whole thing by ourselves, there are libraries which provide it by default. Okay. So we are going to see how do we use external libraries which are not there in the Angular, but those are external libraries which we can install and you can use the component which are already there. Okay. So first, mostly, let's say 70% used library is the primeng one. Okay. Prime ng. Prime ng. Okay. So this is the website. This is their logo. Okay. You can go over here. First, we will see the things what I have discussed in the table. Click on get started. Now, just like we have created our reusable component, just like that, primeng has created their reusable component. By installing the package, we can use whatever the component they have created. Okay. So now we just want to see the table one. So in the data, you can see the table. Okay. Just click on the table. So many reusable components they have created. We are just going to use them. Okay. So this is their basic table. Just like with our component also, we had a selector. So just like that, here you can see P table. This is nothing but their selector. What will be this? Square bracket value. What will be this?
Property binding.
No.
Property.
In case of reusable component, what is this? What will be this in case of reusable component? Input, na? Array, we have created reusable component, correct? So if
Yes,
you have
yes, yes.
input, how do you pass the data? In square bracket only, na? Right?
Yeah.
So this is nothing but reusable component they have created, and these are the inputs they have. Okay. So this is very basic table. Let's say and now how many configuration we have with this table. So on the right side, you can see. let's say pagination. If you click on pagination, see, this is how you get the pagination. How many records you need by default? We said 5. If I click on 10, see, 10 records I get. Okay, this is pagination. If you need sorting, see, sorting is also there. Then let's say filter. If you click on filter, see, on the take column also you get filter, and overall global filter also is there. Okay, row selection. If you want to allow user to select the row, see, row is selected. See, then expansion. We can expand the row also. See, expanded data. Getting it? Then where is that? Export is also there. We can export the table data. If you click on export, Excel get downloaded. Then context menu, the one example I have shown, right? If I click on right click, see, view and edit delete icon is coming. If I click outside, normal browser context menu is coming. But if I click right click on the table, I get its own context menu, right? So these are all the things. If we want to do it by ourselves, we can write the code also for it. But why to write so much of code? By installing the primeng, we can readily use their code, right? And it's free also. We don't have to pay also. There are some paid libraries also, but at least primeng is free. Again, they have their paid version also, but most of the things are free. What we need, those are free. Okay. Again, if we check the calendar, where do we have any calendar? Like browser calendar, the default calendar we get. Let's see if anywhere we have used calendar. I think we have not used anywhere. Anyway, so our basic calendar looks very basic. We cannot disable, enable some dates also into that. But if we use calendar from the primeng, where is calendar date picker? See, this is their date picker. Okay. Now, if you want to enable and some disable dates also, so you can do that also. See, previous 2 months date they have disabled, and after also some they have disabled. Multiple date also you can select, right? With normal date picker, we cannot do that. Month picker, you can select the month also. Year picker, see, just the year is there. Multiple month. At the time, 2 date pickers are opening. Getting it? So many things you can do. Okay. Again, if we check date drop down we have. Can we search in the drop down? In normal HTML, we have a select box. Can we do the searching in that? In normal select drop down, can we implement searching? Can we group data in normal select box? We can. We can group the data. We have select option and option group we have. So that we can do, okay? But again, we have autocomplete also. This looks like a normal text box. But if I start searching, my options come. See? This is autocomplete. Just like autocomplete, we have a normal drop down also. Where is select? This is your normal drop down. Okay. Now, if you just add a editable, see, this is their component p select. These are the inputs they have. If you just add one property that is editable as true, once you select it, you can actually edit this also. In normal dropdown, we cannot do that, right? We can group it also. See, Germany, these are the cities from Germany. These are the cities from USA. Then we can pass a template also with some icon and everything. Then filter. If you just add a filter true, see, filter true and filter by name. What property, with what property you need to filter? So filter also started. Got it? So many, from text box, button, radio button, your checkbox, everything is there. One more example for the checkbox. Where is checkbox? Checkbox. This is your normal checkbox, but it looks different from your normal checkbox, right? correct? So whatever the elements you know from HTML, all they have created, but they have created inside a component. They have created reusable component of it. So instead of, if you have to use the checkbox, instead of writing input type check, you will use P checkbox. Then ng model and remaining things are same. Okay. So this is the mostly used third party library. Okay. So now we are going to use it. So if you go to the get started, here you have installation. Now this is the third party library. So we have to install it. So if you have to install using npm, right? So you need to copy this command. This is the practice project which we have used that I'm using. Okay. Terminal. Let's open a new terminal. Just pay attention to the package.json also. Currently we don't have it. Only Angular Bootstrap we have used. Okay. Now I'm installing primeng. Enter. So whatever their latest version, 20 only is the latest version. So it will install. Wait, why it is saying, okay, hyphen F we have to add because Angular 20 we are using. Somewhere now when sometimes happen like package don't get installed. So we have to add hyphen F means forcefully. Okay. Taking so much time. Yeah, install. Why entry is not added? Okay, now it has added. Okay, so boot primeng install has entry has been added. So we install the package. If you scroll down, next thing what we have to do, where we have up now in previous version now, once you do the installation in angular.json, you needed to add that JS entry also, but now that is not needed. So how do we do that? Just in the provider in our app config, we just need to add this to entry. Okay, let's copy. After installing your package, this is the next thing you have to do. Why it is not providing input? Provide animation. These are the three imports which you are going to need. Let's stop it and run it again. CLS. Provide animation async. Okay. So what we did, we installed the primeng, then we have added the entries in the provider section in app config. Okay. Now the first very basic example we will try to do is the wait, which component we will do? Control flow. Date picker we will try to use. Component. Now so many components are there, right? Whatever the component you want to use, you have to visit there. We want to use date picker. What's the first thing we have to do? If you want to use any component, now in standalone also, if you want to use one component to another component, you import that. So here also same thing. If you want to use the date picker from primeng, you have to import this package. So copy in our .ts, we need to import it. Okay, I have imported it. Then how do I have to use it? Again, if you scroll down, this is their basic example. Let's copy it in the HTML. Let's add it. Now we need a variable also. Date colon date is equal to new date. Okay. Control flow. Okay. So this is the date picker. If I click, see, I got the calendar. Now let me show you the normal date picker also. Normal date picker will be input date. Okay. See, this is your normal date picker. This is how it looks. And this is your primeng date picker. It has some animation, proper UI theme, and everything is there. Right. Now in this date picker, let's say you want to disable all the previous date. Means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this should be disabled. So we cannot do this in the browser. And this is browser specific, okay? We are seeing this date picker over in the Chrome, so it is looking like this. In Mozilla, it will look something like that. Browser provide the date picker, okay? Not your HTML. The date picker, this calendar gets provided by the browser. Fine. Now let's say if I want to disable the previous date. So you have to see over here, min max, how to use the min max date. Now, if you see over here they have just provided, here if you see, they have provided 2 months back date. But let's say I just want to disable all the previous date. From today only all date should be enabled. So what I have to use? Min date. Okay. So this is the input they have, min date. Now here you need to provide the date. Okay. So after this is the second parameter, min date, colon date is equal to new date. Just one more variable I am creating with the current date. Okay. And this min date value, just the variable name I'm changing, and this I will provide over here. Okay. Now if you check, see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 7, all the previous dates are disabled. Getting it? Only date from today are able to select. Previous dates are disabled. So that is min date, means from where we have to allow the selection. Just like that max date. You're mute now, Omkar. What will be the use case of max date? Just like min date we have seen. What will be the purpose of max? What will be the purpose of max date then? Disable the previous date, na? Future dates we have to disable, right? So max date also we can do. Then range, if you want to select, if you want to user allowed to select the range 9 to 10. See, date we are able to select from this to this date. Okay. If you want, if here clear and 2 days, this is also there. Time picker is also there, 12-hour format, 24-hour format, time only, like this also is there. Again, same thing is there, just different properties you need to save. Show time, true. Hour format, 24 or 24. Here also, if you need to see the whole code, see toggle full code. It will show the HTML also and .ts also. Everything, this is a proper running library, very well proper documented site it is. Whatever you need, everything is there. It is well properly documented also. Okay. Now these are the input, right? So when we talk about reusable component, it will have the input also and some output also. Let's say if you need to write the code once month change. See here we are changing the month. Let's say you want to write a code if user change the month. So they will have the output also. On date select, so they will have the output also. So output where you can see in the API. For this particular date component, what are the inputs? Input you can see over here. These are nothing but input, and output you can see over here. After the input, see on focus, on blur, on close, on select date, on clear, on today's clear, on clear click, on month change, on year change. Click outside means currently you have opened the date picker. If you click outside, then this output will trigger. So these are the what do we say? Output of that reusable component. Let's try on close. Okay. So how do you write the output? In round bracket, right? On close is equal to on date picker closed. Okay. Now once we close the date picker, then our function should get trigger. I will just print the console.log. Same function name I'm printing. Okay. Console. I open the browser. Clicked away. See, our date picker got closed, so our function got triggered. Just like that, on selection of it, round bracket on See, all the possible are suggesting also over here. On date, select. Let's create this function as well. See, once I select, on date select is also there, and obviously after clears our calendar also close. So two function got executed. Understood? So these are the events are possible with this date picker. Now if see, just remember this. This is for date picker, okay? Let me duplicate this website. And now if I open the table one, okay? So these are the events from your date picker component. If you check the table component, some different events will be there. Events. Where is the event? Okay, events like so many properties also there with the event. So that's why it is looking like this. So events, okay? Table row selection event, table row unselect event. These are the events. And this is the type of value we are going to get. So many events are there. So according to the every component, they will have different set of input and different set of output also. Properties are nothing but your inputs. These are the input of the table. Paginator true, table style, filter true, right? Sort mode, single or default. If you visit the table date picker properties, invalid, disable, name, variant, size, pattern, mean, max, right? Like this. So for every component, whatever you see over here, it will have different properties, mean input, and different output means events. Clear? Understood? The basic idea at least.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's try to use the select box, means our normal drop down. Select. Okay. So if you have to use the select, so you have to import it. Before using anything, you need to import it. Okay. Now P select. Okay. Now how P select, it needs the value as a array we need to pass. Square bracket value. Sorry, not value, option. Options mean what are the options you want to show in the drop down. So let's create an array of city list. City list colon string is equal to empty. Okay. Let's say Pune, Mumbai, Nagpur, Jabalpur, Nagar. Okay. Now this variable you can pass it over here. So it will load whatever the options we have it over there. Where is the drop down? HTML not saved. Now we are getting error. Duplicate identifier. I think city list variable was already there. Let's remove this. Where is the drop down? Do we have any error again? Duplicate identifier remove, no?
Data type.
The city name is duplicate. I don't know.
No, clear, clear. No, it should render it. See the drop down with whatever the option we have. Got it? Let's say now we want to allow the filter also. So here you can go to the filter. Now in case of filter, what property we need? See, these are the property. First, we need to say the filter is filter true. Okay. Now it's an array of string only. So we don't have to provide by name. If it's an array of object, we need to specify with what property you want to allow the filter. But it's an array of strings, so obviously we don't need to do that. We just will say like filter true. So it will start showing the filter drop down. See? But why it is showing very less one? Why you? Why width is very less? I don't know why width is showing very less, but let's say, see, now P, I have tagged the P, but it is not visible. Why it is taking very less space first? P select width 100%. Okay, now it has taken. See, if I type P over here, okay, if I type M, wherever we have M, it will filter. If I type P, P we have in Nagpur also and Pune also. So we are able to filter out also. Got it? So like this, whatever you need to do, let's say we need a button of show clear. Selection also we need to clear. See, currently we don't have a button, but if we allow this property as true, it will show that clear button also. See, clear. Got it? So whatever the property you need to use, see it, and like that you copy paste and add it. Loading, if you want the loading icon also, when you show the drop down based on the API call. So you can make this loading also true. Virtual scroll, again, we are not over here. Once you scroll, then your API call will trigger. Okay. What is this field? It's looking like a text box. Float label. See, floating label moves away. Okay. So these are the various things you can do. Are you able to relate now how to use this component?
Yes,
Anyone having any doubt? Everything is over here. You just need to read it properly and now you have to use it. Okay. See the input. Let's say if I click on, you might have seen this editor. Anyone have used this? Right? We can provide a HTML format data like this. Like this. Okay. So by using just for this, we have to install one more package Quill because internally it uses Quill to achieve this. Okay. So how to use that? You have to first install this. You will install this one just for this. What do we say? For this editor, if you have to use the editor, one more package you need to install because to run this, you need this Quill library also present. Then you can use like this. What is the style, height, width you need to give? If you need to make it read only, where is the read only? Yeah, this is the read only. I'm not able to edit anything, right? So many things are there. Even text box is also there. See, this is normal text box. But in case of some elements, you don't have to use their selector. You will use it as a directive. See, this is the normal text box, but they have added its directive p input type. Okay. List box, where we want to show some. This is not a drop down. This is the list box, and user can select. It's a drop down, but it's in a expandable mode only. Multi select. If you want to drop down where you can have a checkbox also where user wants to select multiple option like this. So many things are there. Let's go with the table now. Okay. If you want to use the table, first you will import this. Okay. Table we imported. Now, where was the table? Now this is your normal table. Okay. This was your normal table. Now what change will happen? What you need to do? Instead of that P table, you have to use this one. I'm just copying everything. Okay. Let me format. Wait. Where it is? Okay. Okay. So now this was your normal table. Now this is your P table. So value What's the array you want to show into the table? So here value means your array, that is student list, will go over here. Okay, then your th and everything will be same as it is. That's it. Okay, now here instead of, you just need to write the product. Let's remove this. This was your normal table. Now this is your primeng table. See, this is your primeng table. Okay, again we have to add some styles and everything, then it will look something different. Now if you want to add the pagination, so click on the pagination. So what we need to add? Paginator true. This by default rows, which what's the by default row you want to show? So that's why rows. How many drop down in this drop down? What values you need to show? 5, 10, 100, 1000. So for that, so all these three I'm copying and putting over here. Let's save. See, you got the drop down. By default, 5 records are visible. If I change it to 5 to 10, by default, it will show 10 record. See, getting it? Here also 5, 10, 20 you are getting. Let's say you want the 50 option also. 50. See, got it? This is pagination. Let's say you want to enable the sorting. So you can click on the sort. So wherever you have the TS, so you just need to add this thing over there. Sort table column and your property name on the TH. If you click on this particular column, by what property you need to sort? So that particular field name you need to provide. City, mobile. Now I'm not adding that icon, but you can add this icon also. Okay. Now it is like this. If I click on name, see, it is sorting. If I click on city, by city name, it is sorting. If I click on mobile, see 11111. Clear? This is how you do the sorting. If you want to enable the filter, so click on the filter. First, here, like with filter, you have to do so many things. So in the project, we will again see. So you need to add this template reference variable, then filter as true property. Where is the filter as true? Value, loading, page ignition. Okay. This search box only we need to add. And then we will be able to filter. Okay. Then let's say row selection you need to enable. Currently, we are not able to select any row. See, but let's say you want to enable the row selection. So single selection mode, single, and once you select the row, you need to store that into some variable. So for that, again, you need to create one variable, and this property you will bind it over here. It will work as a ng model. See, square bracket, round bracket, kind of ng model. So whatever the row you select, that row, whole row value item, it will get selected in this variable. Okay.
Checkbox.
Checkbox. Yeah, checkbox. So here you need to add one more column, and P checkbox you will add. Just the normal. In normal table also we add like that only. Okay. So many things you have. What was this? Export, no? Export. If you want to allow the export also, so you need to add this button, and on click of this button, say this DT. What is this DT? The template reference variable. Mhm. This
So
DT.
is this support a reactive form as well, or only the template form?
Which? No, everything it's a form. See, if we go the simple normal text box.
Because this syntax looks like it is supporting only the template.
No. Your question is can we use template or the reactive or what? Or template you are saying?
Yeah,
No, we
this
can
is
use
using
both.
template, right?
No. See, you can use ng model also or your where is why they are not saying reactive? Reactive form also. Same thing. Nothing differs. Either your ng model or it's like just normal, consider like a normal HTML element only. Like normal text box, you can bind it with your template also and with reactive also. Same thing happen here also. Okay. Seen over here. Either you
Yeah.
create a normal variable or you bind it with your form controller name also. Okay. Both thing it works. Clear? So this is how we use primeng. Clear all? Now, just like primeng, we have material, AG grid, some graph libraries are almost all behaves the same. They have very proper documentation. We have to install their library and one by one we have to use it. Whatever the library, whatever the component you are going to use, you need to import it. And just like primeng, material and other AG grid and every libraries are well documented because it's their product. They have to keep it very proper so that others can use it. Okay. Understood all? So how we are going to use primeng? In almost proper industry level project, they will be using either primeng or material or sync fusion or so many libraries. But 80% time there is a possibility that everyone will go with primeng. Okay. But working will be almost same. Install the package, install that particular library and use the particular component like that. Import it and use it. See the documentation, what is the selector name and use it like that. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in your practice project, give it a try. Try to use whatever the components are there randomly. Try to use it and check if it is you are able to use it properly or not. Fine. Okay. Anyone having any question? Fine. Let's connect tomorrow morning. We will again start on the project. Okay. Fine then. I will share recording in some time. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.